In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to organize your files. We'll take a look at the home page and the projects folder. I'll show you how to create new folders, how nesting folders work. I'll show you start folders, the grid versus the list view, how to sort your files inside folders, and how to move documents from one folder to a different one. You can find all your designs and all the projects and documents you created if you click on your home button up here, if you're in the desktop app, or you can always click on the Canva logo. That will also take you to the home page. And you can find everything on the projects right here. So if you click on projects, Canva will show you first the most recent designs you've looked at, you opened up or worked on. So they're not necessarily the last ones you created. They can also be some that you just had open and you worked on something. So the last files you had open will show up here. Then you will see your folders. So if you haven't created any folders yourself, there will still some folders be in here. For example, the purchased folder, the start folder, the uploads, and the brand templates. Those are folders that will be in there already. But if you've created any of your own folders, they will show up here. Then you see your designs. These are in order of what you've worked on last. And your brand templates and your images and your videos that you have uploaded to Canva. You also have the tabs up here, so this will take you straight to your folders or straight to your designs or straight to your templates, etc. So if you click on folders, you see all the folders that you have created in here. And you can also see folders that have been created by other team members and been shared with you if you are under all projects right here. Now you can also just choose to look at only your projects, and as you can see, Canva adjusts what's visible now, and it will only show me what I have created. And I can also choose to only see what was shared with me. So if I've created it, it won't be visible anymore. And now I only see what my team members or other people have shared with me. So you can see there are some brand templates there. There are some posts and some documents. And you can see right here, these folders, they have a little icon of the person who shared this with me, who created it, the owner of the document. So if you hover over it, it tells you who the owner is. So in this case, it's Ayuna. Over here, we have somebody else. It's owned by Millie. And the same with the designs. If somebody else created it, like this one is owned by Fred, if somebody else created it, you will see who created it and shared it with you. I recommend you leave this on all projects so nothing gets missed, but sometimes you're looking for something and you know it's been shared with you, so you just switch it to, only shared with you, for example. So let's go back to the folder section. If you're under folders right here, you have two different views. This one is the grid view. So it gives you a little picture for each one and the name, and it tells you how many items are in each folder. But if you click up here, you can change it to list view. And then it's basically a list, which shows you the name and how many items. It also shows you who is sharing this, this folder. And you see when it was last edited. So this one was 7 minutes ago. This one was 5 months ago. Okay, so that's a list of your folders. I personally prefer the grid view, but it's it's up to you how you want to organize this. Now this view changes, and it will always show you the folder you've last worked on first. So it's a little bit confusing because you kind of get used to finding, your private folder over here, for example, but then you start working on different folders and they will move up and your private folder keeps moving down. And then, you keep looking for your folder up here, but it's actually down here. So just keep in mind that this reorganizes itself depending on what documents and what folders you have been using last. It will always show you most recent designs first. Okay. If you want to create a new folder, you can go up on this little plus here and say add new. And then it will ask you, well, what do you want to do actually? And you can say, I want to add a new folder. And then you give the folder a name, and you can invite your team members if you want to, and just type in their names or their email address. Or you can just say, I want to share it with my whole team. Right now, this is set to not sharing it. Nobody can see it or edit it or anything. You can choose to allow them to view it, but not editing anything. Or you can allow them to edit this folder, or you can allow them to edit and share it with other people. Okay. So you click create folder, and this new test folder showed up right here. It's the newest one, so it will be the first one. Those 4 folders up here, those are default folders. Canva sets them up automatically. The next one is the one we just created. From here, you also have the option of uploading something or importing something from an app, but we're focusing on organizing your files right now, so let's keep it with the folders. So if you hover over any folder, you get the little more button right here again. If you click on this, you can rename it. You can start a folder, which means if you click on this, it is now starred, which means it will show up in this starred folder right here. So those are all different elements that have been starred, and your folder will actually show up in this menu over here. So the start folder shows you elements, but the start folders, the folders that you star, will actually show up here. You can unstar them by just clicking that X, and then they will not show up here anymore. And then when you go back here, you could start them again, and it will show up right here. Okay. Another option you have in here is you can move this folder around. So if you don't want it in this at this main level, you can move it into a different folder. For example, you can move it into the shared section, or you can keep it with your projects, and from here all the other folders will show up. So let's say I want to move this into my private folder here. I just click on this, and then I can move it here, or I can create a new folder in this private folder that I have. Now, if you just click on the folder itself, if I just click on clients, it will take me to this folder, and then I can either just save it into this folder, into this clients folder, and it will just show up as a document in here, or I can create a new folder in here and then move it to that folder, or I can click on any of the folders that are in here already, and then I can add it right here, right? Another option I have, I can share the folder straight from here. So if I haven't allowed my team, for example, to share the folder, I can go back to sharing it right here and say, okay, now I want to allow it, I will not allow everybody to edit this folder, so I can do this by clicking on this share button. And the last option you have is just delete the folder. If you don't need it anymore, the folder is gone. As you have already seen, you can have nesting folders, so folders inside folders. So if I click on this client folder, for example, you will see there are more folders in there, and I can take this up to 10 levels. So I can create more folders inside each folder. So if I click on this one, for example, I can go up here and say add new folder. I give it a name. I can invite my team members or share it with my team. And then it creates a new folder right here. And from here, I can either click on each design and go to the more button up here and then move it to the folder from here. So your projects, then I find my clients, then I find the client I'm in, and that's the folder where I wanted to move it. It's the one I just created. So I click on this and I say move it to the folder. And now I have something inside this folder, one item. But I can also just grab a design and drop it right into this folder. That's a lot easier to move things around this way. Another thing I can do is I can, when you hover over a design, you get this little checkbox right here. So you can just click on this, and now you can check multiple designs. And then down here, this section shows up. So you can either delete all of them or you can move all of them. And then you get the same options again. I can find my folder that I just created, this one for the apps, and I just move everything into this. So now they disappear from this list and they show up in my app folder. So when I click on this, all my designs are in here. I highly recommend that you practice Canva maintenance and regularly go through your Canva folders and through your Canva designs, your whole account, and clean up things that you don't need anymore. It will add up and they will end up all over the place. So take some time and sit down and think about how you can use your folders best. Plan out your folder structure. What are the main things you need in your business to run, your Canva account? What are the designs that you're creating most? Can you organize them somehow? They could be organized by events, for example. You can have an event folder, and for each event, you have a subfolder where you create all the designs and everything that you need. It could be flyers, could be social media posts, could be videos. It could all be in each event folder, for example. You can have templates that you're reusing all the time. They would be in your template folder. So figure out what makes the most sense for the way you use Canva and your whole entire team uses Canva, to make sure that everybody's on the same page, know where everything goes, and actually puts it in this folder so it can be found when you're looking for it. I showed you how to batch organize designs in here by using this checkbox. So this makes it pretty easy to go through your designs and just sort them into folders once you have created them. I also recommend that you come up with naming conventions for your folders and for your designs so everybody knows what to look for. This will make it easier when you are looking for specific things that you've created already. I told you that Canva has this great search box here where you can search not just for templates on Canva, but you can also search for your own projects. So you can type in and it searches through the content, not just by name, but also what you wrote in there. But if you have your designs named a certain way, it makes it easier to find them. For example, my clients all have a little abbreviation there, so SP for Schaefer Protocol, for example. So I know that all the designs that I've created for this client are named a certain way. As you can see, all the things that concern the app also have app in the name. So I want you to sit down and come up with a naming convention for your files and for your folder that works for everybody, and then make sure that everybody on the team is on the same page and knows how to do this, and then create a folder structure that works for everybody and that everybody can use from now on. And then take a little bit of time and try to sort the elements you've already created, the designs and folders, and put them in the right place.